What's good, ladies and gentlemen? This video is going to be titled Sith Lords, Gods of Dark Matter versus Jedi Cult Part 2. Alright? Sith Lords, Gods of Dark Matter versus Jedi Cult Part 2. Shout out to everybody, all the subscribers out there, everybody who's been supporting the movement. I wouldn't be able to do what I do on a consistent basis if it wasn't for you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's lecture. With this particular information, I'm going to be putting a major nail in the coffin for everyone who doesn't believe that the Sith Lords represent the indigenous people of the world, the original builders and the original alchemists of the world. All right, and the Jedi represent the indigenous people that serve the demiurge. All right, let me repeat that for everybody who might be confused. The Sith in Star Wars, they want you to believe, the movie makers want you to believe that these are just some evil beings out to cause chaos and havoc for no reason. You see what I'm saying? But when you actually do the diligent research, the Sith Lords represent the indigenous people of the world, and the Sith Lords represent the original alchemists of the world, the original architects of the world. Okay? The Jedi represent the indigenous people who serve the demiurge. All right? The indigenous people who serve the jealous gods, the demiurge. So let me go ahead and break this down. First thing I'm going to say is the Sith should have been named the Jedi, and the Jedi should have been named the Sith. All right, I'm going to break that down a little bit later, but I'm going to give you the breakdown on the history of the Sith once more. The Sith were found on a planet known as Korriban. The Sith were found on a planet known as Korriban. All right? Planet Korriban. The Jedi found the Sith on the planet Korriban, and the Jedi noticed that the Sith had red skin. The Jedi noticed that the Sith had red skin, and the Sith were extremely powerful with the Force, and the Sith were born with very high midichlorian counts. In the Star Wars universe, you cannot be a Sith and you cannot be a Jedi unless you have something in your blood called a midichlorian count. And a midichlorian count is basically a neuromelanin count, because when they talk about the red-skinned Sith, all right, they're actually talking about the red-skinned Washitas of the United States, the red-skinned Washitas of America. All right. So I'm going to put the absolute nail in the coffin for everyone who doesn't want to believe that these red-skinned Sith represent the indigenous so-called black Americans. All right. If you do your research, one of the original Sith Lords who actually, took part in creating the Sith Order, his name was Carnus Mur. His name was Carnus Mur. And look how they spelled Mur. M-U-U-R. M-U-U-R. All right, just like the indigenous Murs, the indigenous Washita Murs. You see, one of the original Sith Lords, Carnus Mur. You see, the Order of the Murs. You see, because the Sith are not some evil, sadistic freaks who just want to cause chaos for no reason. Oh, no, 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 no. The Sith Lords are gods of dark matter. The Sith Lords are dark alchemists, dark architects, and gods of dark alchemy and dark matter. All right? And they are all about achieving godhood, achieving immortality, either achieving that immortality in the material realm or having the soul leave the body and making sure the soul ascends into a higher dimension, or the soul is placed inside of a very significant artifact, a sacred artifact. All right. It was all about escaping reincarnation and achieving godhood, either in the material realm or the spiritual realm. So with the Sith, it was all about achieving immortality in the spirit realm or the material realm. Okay? And I'm here to say there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay? You know, the creators of Star Wars, they wanted us to believe that these beings were evil, but, you know, you got people like me who are here to decode this information and bust that bullshit up. They also made Carnus Mur look like a melanated man as much as possible. Right here we got the twisties. These are either the twisties or the braids. You know what I'm saying? We got the goatee. And then when you look at his facial features, all right, you can tell that this is a melanated man. Easily. Okay? And right here, M-U-U-R, Carnus Mur. All right? Carnus Mur was one of the red-skinned Sith. I believe Carnus Mur was a half-blood. All right, with the Murs, you got half-bloods, and then you got full-bloods with the Sith. All right, these red-skinned Sith, and just how you have a team called the Washington Redskins. All right, which changed their name, but they were known as the Washington Redskins. You see, but you see right here, this person actually has skin of copper. This is an indigenous Mur from America. Washington, the Washita. We get the word Washington from Washita. The Washita Redskin Murs. Okay? Right here, you can look it up yourself. The Washita Murs. Oh, here we go. M-U-U-R. M-U-U-R. Just how we had Carnus Mur. M-U-U-R. Okay? RFG doesn't talk out of the side of his neck. RFG isn't talking out of his ass. Right? I'm actually putting in the diligent research. Okay? And once again, when you look at these Sith Lords and the original Redskin Sith, this was nothing but a depiction of the Redskin Washita natives of the Americas. And right here, you got Darth Maul. You got Darth Maul. Now remember, Darth Maul was a Redskin Sith who put tattoos. He put tattoos on his face, just how you have many indigenous tribes, not only in America but around the world, that put tattoos on their face. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And Darth Maul had the horns. He had horns on his head, all right, and tiny horns, because what they were trying to depict was they were trying to depict these Bantu knots. They were trying to depict the Bantu knots, folks. Okay? All right? That's what the fuck Darth Maul represents. All right? The indigenous warriors that put tattoos on their face and had Bantu style knots in their hair. Okay? All right? And I'm going to be breaking this down even further. So once again, it is not about light versus dark. You know, the struggle between good and evil, is not about light versus dark. It's about high vibrations of light versus low vibrations of light. Okay? And you cannot manipulate that light without being able to manipulate the dark matter. So basically, you cannot manipulate any light unless you're able to manipulate dark matter. You have to manipulate dark matter in order to manipulate light. All right? Plain and simple. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you really want to get technical, the Jedi, okay? The Jedi had to have been able to manipulate dark matter in order to perform telepathy, in order to perform telekinesis, or, you know, hydrokinesis, pyrokinesis, electrokinesis, geokinesis, aerokinesis. You see, all of those abilities with the Force, that's manipulating orgone energy. So when the Jedi and when the Sith manipulate the Force, they're using orgone energy. And once again, you cannot manipulate orgone energy unless you manipulate dark matter. Okay? So technically speaking, the Jedi and the Sith had to both use the dark side in order to perform their supernatural abilities. Okay? Because the dark side of the Force is basically dark matter. When they say the dark side of the Force, they're talking about the dark matter of the universe. Okay? You could not be a Jedi or a Sith unless you had a midi-chlorian count. A midi-chlorian count is a neuromelanin count. All right? The midi-chlorians in Star Wars, they were little tiny organelles inside of the Jedi's or the Sith cells. And the little tiny organelles would give the Jedi cells or the Sith cells immense amount of power. All right? Those little midi-chlorian organelles in the Jedi cells, it would connect the Jedi cells with orgone energy and electromagnetic forces known as the Force. Okay? Neuromelanin functions the same way, folks. Neuromelanin functions the same way. It's actually neurocarbon. All right? When you talk about electromagnetic conduction, there is no greater conductor of electromagnetic energy than carbon, gold, and copper. Carbon, gold, and copper. And that is found in abundance in the melanated body. Okay? So right here, when you talk about midi-chlorian counts in the Jedi and in the Sith, you're basically talking about a neuromelanin count, all right, in the human body. Okay? So right here, we see how the dark matter looks in between the stars. It is an exact replica of the neuromelanin in the brain. All right? An exact fucking replica. And this is the neuromelanin organelles, the neurocarbon organelles that are around, the melanated cell. Okay? And it's basically, it causes the cells to be a conductor, a superconductor of orgone energy and electromagnetic forces. All right? So that's how the Jedi and the Sith get their powers. All right? They are depicting the original humans on the earth who were actually living, walking, talking, breathing gods, who were able to use 100% of their brains. Okay? So when you're able to use 100% of your brain, of course you can teleport your body to other locations in the blink of an eye. Of course, you're going to be able to perform levitation. Of course, you're going to be able to perform telekinesis and telepathy. Of course, you're going to be able to use pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, aerokinesis, electrokinesis, and geokinesis. Okay? Of course, you're going to be able to do that when you can use 100% of your brain. Right? This is the level of knowledge and the level of godhood that we were once at. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show more proof that the Jedi served the goddamn the demiurge, and the Jedi represented the indigenous people that served the demiurge. All right. Now, this is why the Jedi burned their bodies, the bodies of their dead after a Jedi died. After a Jedi died, it was in Jedi tradition for them to burn the body. All right. Now, why is that? The Jedi believed or stated that the soul had to become one with the Force again. The soul had to become one with the flow of the Force again. When the Jedi talk about the flow of the Force, they're talking about the flow of the Matrix. I'm going to repeat that again. When the Jedi talk about the universal flow of the Force, they're actually talking about the universal flow of the Matrix. All right? Now, what do I mean by the Matrix? I'm talking about the circle of life. All right? Yes, nature is beautiful. Yes, the flow of life in the universe is beautiful. Yes, life in the third dimension, it feels good and it's beautiful. But guess what? The fucking circle of life is the goddamn realm of the parasites. The circle of life is the realm of the parasites. And no matter how intelligent we become, okay, we're still going to have to live off of another life force in this material realm to stay alive, right? We're still going to have to consume something for our bodies to get nutrients to stay alive in this third dimensional material realm, right? So that makes it the realm of the parasites. Even if you're a vegan, you're still going to have to consume life from the earth, which is plants, in order to stay alive. Okay? All right? Flat out. So with that being said, without a doubt, the circle of life is the circle of the goddamn parasites. All right? Flat the fuck out. So when the Jedi talk about, oh, we burn our dead so their souls can ascend and become one with the Force again, they're talking about your soul going back to the orgone energy in the cosmos to be recycled again. Basically, when you are cremated and burned after death, your soul is just going to get recycled faster. All right? That is an alchemical fact. That is a biological and an alchemical fact. If you burn the dead body after death, that motherfucker is getting recycled and it is going to enter a new body quite quickly. And it could be an animal body or a fucking human or a different organism body. Okay? And you're going to be living life again with no memory of who you were in the past life. All right? That's bullshit. The Jedi were pro-reincarnation because the Jedi served and worshipped the goddamn demiurge. And I hate to break it to you folks, but the demiurge, all right, is controlling the circle of life. The demiurge is the flow of the circle of life, which is the realm of the parasites. All right? The demiurge rules the material realm, which is the circle of life, which is the recycling of orgone energy, the recycling of souls. Okay? That is all tied to the goddamn demiurge. Okay? And this is why the Jedi burned their dead after death. Now, see, the Sith, the Sith were operating on a much higher frequency, on a much higher vibration here, because the Sith were all about escaping reincarnation, and the Sith were all about causing the soul to move higher and higher throughout dimensions of light. All right? Okay? So this is why you had something called Sith alchemy. Look, folks, this is why you had something called Sith alchemy. Once again, the Sith represent the original indigenous warriors on the earth, the original indigenous alchemists, the original indigenous architects on the earth. Okay? And these Sith lords were all about achieving godhood in the material realm and the spiritual realm. So that means the Sith could tap into alchemy so they could live forever in the material realm, or if they chose, they could open up Stargate portals and cause their soul to move through that Stargate portal so it could enter a realm of pure light or pure darkness. All right? So basically the soul could escape the reincarnation cycle. So the soul could escape the realm of the parasites. All right? Reincarnation is spiritual failure. Reincarnation is spiritual failure. And the Sith knew that shit. The Sith knew that shit. Okay? So the Sith, they either opened up interdimensional portals to allow the soul to move through them, or they preserved the soul inside of a sacred artifact, so the soul would not be reincarnated. And also, this is another nail in the coffin. If you do your research, the original Sith, they mummified their dead. I'm going to repeat that. The Sith, the original Sith, they mummified their dead, and they put their dead in tombs. They mummified their dead, and they put their dead in tombs. Just like the original alchemists who ruled in Kemet, who ruled in Sumeria, who ruled in Atlantis, who ruled in Lemuria. Yeah. Okay? And right here, this is another nail in the coffin. There was a Sith Lord known as Naga Sadao. There was a Sith Lord named Naga Sadao. The Nagas, Nagini, the Nagas, the people of the Naga, that Naga serpent, okay? The Nagas right here, okay? The Sith Lords are the original indigenous Atlantean Washatas of the world. That's what the Sith Lords represent. Okay? So if you want to get technical, the Sith should be called the Jedi, and the Jedi should be called the Sith. Okay? Because the Jedi serve the demiurge, which is all about soul recycling, soul regeneration in the same realm, in the same material realm, and reincarnation. Okay, that's why the Jedi burn their dead. All right, and the Sith are all about God, achieving godhood and godlike wisdom to become immortal in the material realm and to become immortal in the spiritual realm to escape reincarnation. And the Sith should be called the Jedi because that word Jedi, it really means the Jedi. There were warriors in ancient Kemet called the Jedi, Djedi, the Jedi. All right, and they were ancient warriors who had the same abilities as the Sith Lords and the Jedi. But see, the Jedi were all about, superior godlike wisdom and immortality. You see, but the people in Kemet, the warriors in Kemet who followed Set, they followed the demiurge. You see, and they were just like the Jedi. You see, so they served the god Set. They served the god Set, the demiurge. So those particular Kemetic warriors, they should be known as the Sith. All right, and the Sith should be known as the Jedi. The Jedi warriors. You see, absolutely mind-blowing information, deep as hell. But that's really all I had to say on this topic. I had to, reiterate that, make it clear, and show you guys, these nails in the coffin, that the Sith really represent us indigenous Washita Atlanteans. Okay, plain and simple. I also decoded the movie known as Dune. I decoded the movie Dune, Dune. There was a Dune film that came out in 1965. There was another Dune film came out in 1984. And there's another Dune film coming out in December of this year. And I decoded it on my Patreon account. So if you want to see Dune decoded, go check out the Patreon account. Even the lowest tier can see it. So with all that being said, I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One, man. I'm out.